What if some of the most influential voices in the manosphere do not actually believe what they are saying? And what if the real product is not masculinity, but attention, fame, outrage, and your money? Hello, hello! Welcome back to Smart AF, the show where we cut through the noise and give you the facts straight up. There is a lot of discussion right now around manosphere content. It is often described as toxic, extreme, or dangerous. And to be fair, most of it is genuinely shocking and disgusting. Comments about women, about power, and in some cases, openly anti-Semitic narratives and attacks on entire groups. That matters. But focusing only on what is being said misses something deeper. Because the more important question is not just, are these ideas harmful? It is, do they even believe them? Look closely and a pattern starts to appear. The same confidence, the same certainty, the same image of success, luxury cars, expensive watches, perfect lighting, no doubt, no nuance. This is not just personality, it is a persona, designed to be recognizable, repeatable, and persuasive. And then you start to notice the gaps. Public positions that do not match private actions, criticizing certain behaviors while building businesses around them, rejecting platforms while profiting from them, selling discipline while selling shortcuts. At some point, this stops looking like belief and starts looking like strategy. Because outrage is not accidental, it is effective. The more extreme the message, the more attention it generates. Attention becomes followers. Followers become customers, courses, communities, systems. Outrage becomes a funnel, and controversy becomes currency. It is important to mention that this system does not run on Manosphere creators alone. It also depends on participation. The people who appear in these videos, podcasts, posts, reels, including some women, are not always there by chance. In many cases, they understand the value of exposure. More visibility means more followers, more opportunities, and often more income. Even negative attention can be useful, and that creates a loop. The content becomes more extreme. Participation increases because it boosts reach. The audience reacts, and the algorithm rewards all of it. At that point, everyone is responding to the same incentive. Attention equals value. Now here is the part that should actually concern us. This content is not reaching people at random. It is reaching young men, teenagers, early 20s, people still figuring out who they are. And that matters. Because when you are young, you are not just watching content. You are copying it. You see a confident, successful man. He looks like he has everything: money, status, women, attention. Of course that is appealing. Of course that feels like something to aim for. But if that image is not real, then what is being sold is not success. It is an illusion. And worse, it is an illusion being monetized. Because these creators are not just sharing ideas. They are selling something: a course, a system, a mindset, a lifestyle. And the more convincing the persona, the easier it is to sell. This is where it becomes more serious. Because when content includes anti-Semitic narratives, dehumanizing language, and attacks on entire groups, that is not just controversial content. That is extremely harmful. And when it is presented as confidence or truth, it spreads faster, especially to audiences who are still forming their identity. So now you have a system where extreme ideas get attention makes money, and the people consuming it are the most impressionable. At that point, this is not just content anymore. It is influence. And in most cases, very irresponsible influence. At some point, this stops being about truth and starts being about what sells. If outrage gets views and views turn into money, then the message will keep escalating. Not because it is true, but because it works. And that is the part people should be paying attention to. What do you think? Should people be held accountable when they make money from harmful content or false promises? That's it for today's episode of Smart AF. And remember, making informed decisions is your right. So before you believe the hype, get Smart AF. See you soon. Thanks for listening. If you know someone who needs this info, please share this video with them. If you found this interesting, a thumbs up and subscribe would mean a lot. And tap the bell so you never miss an update.